Good morning. Yesterday's video was a lot of my recent videos have been negative Nelly videos. I've been just melancholic and, uh, it's normal for humans to have ebbs and flows, but it's been nice because it has given me an opportunity to reflect on progress that I've made and to really just appreciate the hard work I've put in the past to get to where I'm at, and then also to encourage me to realign my direction a little bit. Because so much of the past, I had this goal I was focused on, which was saving up a huge chunk of money so I could take the next step in my sleep apnea, airway, teeth, jaw healing process. Super long story short, a few years ago, I connected with a physical therapist and a dentist that worked together, and they determined that the roof of my mouth is very narrow. So narrow that my tongue can't rest on the roof of the mouth when you're sleeping, when you're breathing, like it should. And that can actually cause issues all the way down your body. It can really mess you up. And so we began the process of addressing that. But it's not just a one step, here you go. It's a multi step, multi year process. So the first step was just sort of reconfiguring my posture. So I had a lower retainer for a while to help with my left right jaw positioning. And then the next step is to move the upper teeth to widen them out, and then also the lower teeth correspondingly. And that's the step I'm on now. But to get to that step, it was quite literally about 9 grand that I've spent in the last 2.5 years in visits, in scans, in preliminary sort of treatments, and then the down payment on a whole bunch of the retainers for the moving of the teeth. So in the last 2.5, 3 years, I've put down about 10 grand, almost 10 grand of money addressing this health issue. And at the beginning of the journey, I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't think I was going to do it, but I tried. I just set out to start. I started. I tried. There's an old expression: "How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time." And I sort of adopted that mentality. I said, just one step at a time. Let's get through the first step. And the first step was saving up $1,200 for a 3D scan to get the first uh, postural oral device, which was another like $1,500. But I was able to break it up in steps. So, first step, just get $1,200. Okay, we can do that. Next step, okay, now I need $1,500. Okay, we can do that. Another step was, oh shoot, I need to have one of my crowns removed. That's $1,300. I can do that. Then the hardest step, which I was able to accomplish, was I needed to save up about 5 grand uh, to make a down payment, because it's not even the full amount, but it's a big chunk of the amount for the Nuvella, the liner. I'm not wearing them now, but there's the liners that actually do the teeth moving. So I'm at that stage. And that's going to be a multi-year stage probably, with how much movement my dentist says she would like to get. And now it's just how much movement can we get. And it's been a week and a half, and so far I think it's going to work. I have faith it's going to work. And then after that, there's going to be more thousands of dollars for different things, but I get to break it up, which is nice, and I get a break from having to save up a big chunk of money. I get about a year before I need to save up another big chunk. So while I've been really stressed and depressed about money and about my life, um, I need to remember that I've been making progress. It sucks that, I still live in a minivan. I really wish I had an apartment. I was just thinking about 15 years ago when I was in a single apartment I rented a 1-bedroom apartment. So it had a bedroom and a living room, and then a little kitchen. It had a bathroom. It even had a washer and dryer in the unit, right? Fully set up. $675 a month. What I would fucking give for that. What I would give. Okay, anyways. Um, and so in realizing that I don't have a big objective that I'm working towards right now, um, I lost a little bit of purpose and direction. And I also want to note real quick that I can sometimes get so hyper focused on a goal that I sort of lose sight of the present. And so there's that balance that you should seek to strike, where it's you should have a goal that you're working towards, but don't lose the present. And at times in my life, I have. And so while I set this new goal of mine that I have, I also want to still be present. So my new goal for now, for the next 3 months, in the next 3 months, I want to have all of my credit card debt paid off. That's about $4,500. And so it's a pretty big chunk of change, but I'm giving myself 3 months and maybe to the end of September, so 3.5 months we'll call it. But with the exception of getting my rear brakes done next week, which is going to set me back, $1,000 to $1,500. I don't have any big medical bills on the horizon. Knock on wood, which is nice, which will allow me to focus on paying down credit card debt. For the last 3 years, I've kind of been floating between about $2,000 and $4,000. And a big reason for that is, when I have 500 extra bucks, it's like, oh, I can put it on a credit card or I can save it for this medical treatment. And I've been opting to save it for the medical treatment. So I haven't put any of this medical stuff on a credit card, which is nice, but I've used my credit card for other things, which is how it's, sort of creeped up there to that $4,500 mark. Um, but by the end of September, that's my goal. It's to have it all paid off. And I just want to talk about goal setting for a minute, because this video, I want, if anybody sees it, to inspire others to set a goal, to work towards something in life. You may have heard this term, SMART goals. I encourage you to explore when you're goal setting this framework. It's super simple. It's an acronym, SMART. S. Specific. So you have a specific goal. Pay off all my credit card debt. M. Measurable. You can actually measure whether or not you've achieved the goal or how close to the goal you are. A. Attainable or realistic. Attainable or realistic. I may have messed up the acronym, but I'm flowing with it because it works. So you need to be able to set a goal that it's like you can actually accomplish it. Don't just say I'm going to make $1 million, right? Make it an attainable goal. R. This is where I may have got them mixed up. I thought it may have stood for realistic, but I think it actually should, or it's going to stand for reach. So while you want an attainable goal, you want it to be a goal that forces you to reach beyond your normal capacity. You want it to push yourself. You want to reach for something. And so in this instance, $4,500 in 3 months, that's me reaching. But I think I can do it. And I'm going to push myself to do it. And then the T, time frame. Your goal should have a specific time frame. So I'm giving myself to the end of September to have all my credit card debt paid off. That's kind of crazy, but I think I can do it. I really do. And so I would encourage you to look at where you're at in life. Whether it's a physical fitness goal, whether it's a financial goal, maybe it's a spiritual goal. Maybe you just want to meditate more or pray more or get out into nature more. Make it a goal like I'm going to go on 2 hikes every month for the next 6 months or something like that. That could be a really good goal. And so I kind of want to make that one of my goals too, but I'm not going to push it too much. I'm going to focus on getting my money right for a little bit. I do think I'm going to take a camping trip in July just for a few days and hang out with Lucy. If you know, you know. If you don't know, that's code for something that starts with an L, and then there might be a D and an S in there. But I'm getting way off subject. Let me know in the comments below what your goals are. I believe in you. I believe in me. Much love.